say hi to everyone in the Discord, everyone who's in the event. I'm Josh. I am doing 2D artwork and animation for our game Cooperation. And we are in this event now just to draw your characters. We got some submissions from some of the Discordians. Can't remember the names of who submitted now.
So we can help you out.
Yeah.
We had... Oh, you've got them on the screen. Great. Let's have a look. So Ed Banger. Let me have a look at who made Ed Banger. That was Damon Wakes.
Yes. Damon Wakes. This one was really cool.
It is, isn't it?
It's like a reference. I thought it was just a really clever name, but it was some kind of heavy metal band, is it, or something?
He's made it all up because there is a heavy metal band called Anthrax. They're quite famous in the world of metal. So he's obviously made it into a joke of Anthrax Enema. And Ed Banger is obviously a pun. I think it's pretty cool. There's also, do you notice his eyes are all offset because of the too much headbanging?
Yeah.
I can very much relate, as metal was my genre when I was a teenager and young adult. So yeah, it's cool.
But luckily your eyes aren't like that.
No.
You didn't do too much headbanging. You just did enough headbanging.
Just the right amount.
Just the right amount of headbanging.
And then who else have we got? Oh, we've got another character concept on the screen.
Oh, we had Achilles, which...
Oh, I wonder who drew that.
That was our very own Easy Nadezi. Is that how you say it? Easy Nadezi?
Easy and Deezy.
Easy and Deezy. What does it mean?
Easy and Deezy.
And Deezy is banana in Swahili.
Easy banana.
So I thought this was cool. I think there's like good potential for some funny animations, because I never thought about having patients actually come in injured. So I picture like Achilles coming in, like hopping on one leg, like.
Oh yeah.
I thought, yeah, that's quite an idea. And plus, he's like, well, he or she is like crying. I don't know. Crying in pain.
I gave you some options, Josh.
Ooh. Yeah, crying or intense sweat. Yeah, looks like tears. Intense crying.
We also had 2 submissions from our friend in the Discord, Chalak, our new friend. But he said he's no good at reading. Sorry, not reading, drawing. So he's written. So Josh, do you want to read out? My voice is a bit dead because I'm ill. Does someone want to read out their 2 different descriptions and character names? Who's up for doing that? Resounding silence.
I can do it.
Okay, Julia has volunteered. Okay, it's in this one here.
Okay. Oh,
I've made it. Zoom the screen way too big.
So big. CPU. This old school android gained awareness of his own impending redundancy only some short days ago. Mistaking medicine as the source of all human life and believing his own software bugs and rusted joints to be health ailments, he insists on being poked, medicated, operated on, and if necessary, resuscitated on his own journey to gain his humanity, in inverted commas.
Very sci-fi. It's quite in-depth in just a couple of sentences. It's quite impressive. So that was CPU, character 1. Character 2.
Richard Evergreen. Rich had it all in life. Fast car, huge house, several international corporations. When someone pointed out that his money wouldn't go with him into the afterlife, he became obsessed with supposed miracles of medicine. He firmly believes there's nothing that can't be solved by just throwing more money at it. He's on a mission of longevity and unshakable propriety. Be it life extension, to become a happy head in a jar, or if nothing else, to have his finances grafted onto his body for safekeeping.
Okay, again, lots of detail in just a couple of sentences.
Yeah. Deep.
Do-
Makes you question the existential questions of life.
It does on both counts. What even is life, Josh?
Is it just a head in a jar? Who knows?
So when hearing those and reading them yourselves, did they conjure up any images for you when you think, or would you? Yeah, how does this process work when you're thinking of characters, Josh?
Yeah. So some time ago, I did draw some characters, but I think we didn't really give them any backstory. The idea of giving them backstory was a bit of a late development for us. So we're doing something a little bit new here. But as we've got our characters here, we've got Achilles and Ed Banger. I'm thinking I might make a start with Achilles because there's really interesting animation opportunities here. So I'm just going to just draw all over the place, and it's going to be a mess because this is how art works. I'm thinking Achilles. Now I can ask easy. Achilles looks like it got a cape on or something.
Yes,
That's
because in mythical Greek mythology, they all wore capes, right?
Maybe.
I just thought it would be nice and, I don't know, something distinctive.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Gosh,
Yeah, I was thinking he's definitely a LARP player who takes everything too seriously. And because I met someone who does that
Oh, really?
a couple of years ago, yeah. And he would go off to, he lives in the UK, he would go off to Poland to do
Oh, wow.
these reenactments with, hundreds of people. So it's a thing. People love it.
Mm.
In fact, I've got an old school friend who kind of does that as a job at like the Tower of London and Windsor Castle. They reenact battle.
Mm.
So I thought, yeah, that's how they could fit into our modern hospital.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you wanted, Josh, you could make the cape flat. I don't know, because you were talking about animation.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe a flappy cape, hoppy
Yeah.
leg, or
Yeah, I could do. Nice challenge
I
because
think
animating cloth is hard.
so. I think Josh explained to me earlier on the Slack. Tell me if I've got this right, Josh. You're gonna try just doing sketches with all of them, see what comes to mind, and you'll gradually get a feel for, could this be a character? Is this turning into a character? And it's kind of an iterative process rather than deciding straight away, oh, we're doing this one or we're doing that one. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So I might mess around with making the character really thin or making them really large or whatever. And then I just keep it rough and sketchy. Of course, I'm suffering a little bit of delay with my drawing here. I mean, my laptop is apparently not the best when it comes to streaming and running software.
Yeah, I was wondering if this would happen.
there you go. Things are appearing.
You're just going to have to deal with it, I guess, unless Rupert has some possible solution to speed up your CPU. Maybe you can disable other things. I don't know.
Yeah, we looked into that. Nothing. There's nothing obviously, eating up my laptop's, CPU and all that stuff. But I just have to deal with it for now. But yeah. Whoops. Oh, I guess if you're interested, I'm here drawing in Blender. And I always thought Blender was for 3D software, but I'm here drawing 2D stuff in Blender, so I can. I'm actually drawing in 3D space, which is kind of cool.
Does it feel as nice drawing directly in Blender as whatever you would have used before?
Does it feel nice? It does feel quite nice. Especially when it comes to drawing and sketching stuff. That it works well in Photoshop, but if I were to paint, it would work a lot better in Photoshop than it would in Blender. I'm not sure if there are any painting options in Blender. There might be. There might be.
It's all is Blender is all vector art, I presume, is it, as opposed to bitmap?
Neither, because I think the correct term. It looks as if I'm actually drawing with like 3D polygons, like with spleens, because I can. I wouldn't. I don't think it's vector art.
Oh, okay, that's its own.
Yeah.
I still vaguely remember. I'm sure I've asked this to you and Rupert before and have been told the answer, but I've already forgotten. But I'm
I've
guessing
probably
you
forgotten
can't talk
too.
at the moment.
Sorry?
With the
Did I
kid.
I heard something along the lines of me not being able to draw and talk, but it's cool. You can draw and chat. It's fine.
So, even though you've just said it's hard to draw and talk, Josh, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah. No, it's not hard. I can draw and talk.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you've got a lineup of 4 initial sketches. What are they all now? Explain to us what's going on.
Oh yeah, I had this thought. What if Achilles was really, really thin?
Aha. Okay.
Which would explain the really bad Achilles heel. Maybe Achilles has just really, really thin bone structure. Whoops, I rubbed that up. Really thin bones that just are very brittle, and maybe he, I don't know, tripped going down the stairs or fell on his ankle or something. Don't know.
Okay.
And maybe we can go even thinner or even more stylized.
Spindly.
Then all his body weight comes from the cape.
Oh.
Weighed down by that cape.
And another thing I do think about when drawing characters is silhouette. So it's always important to have like good silhouettes with your characters. Come on, computer, help. Because it's easy to like draw. Like if you saw a silhouette for like a character like Bart Simpson, you don't need to see his eyeballs, or you don't need blue shorts to know it's him. You
Yeah.
immediately recognize him. It's the same thing with Mickey Mouse or with Batman. The silhouette, you know who that character is just by looking at their silhouettes or their shadows. So trying to think of that as I draw these characters as well, because it will. I think it can come in handy for the game as well. Like, which patient are you going to get? Oh, I'll get the really thin guy or the really
Exactly.
one,
No, that's a great point because communication is a big part of the game and the fun of the game. So being able to, describe your own terms, make up your own funny terms with the characters, but other people know who you're talking about. I think, that'll help.
Exactly. So I'm gonna wrestle through this because I'm on a bit of a delay here. But that annoying thing, when you make, you make a mark and then like half a second later the mark appears. That's what I'm dealing with. It's fine. We'll deal with it. So as an example now, let's say I like this this character here. I like that silhouette for Achilles. I would tone this down the opacity, take it down a notch, and then I draw on a new layer on top of it, which is a little bit more detail for the character. Maybe I can zoom in just a tiny bit. That wasn't the plan. Here we go.
That cape does add something, doesn't it? In the first one, because on this new skill one, you haven't put the cape yet, and there's a big difference in how they come across straight away.
Oh yeah. If I did, and then sometimes when I'm drawing, I don't really know what to draw, so I just let my pencil just wander around and do stuff.
Good. I think that's good. Let your subconscious do the work. Get out the way of your creativity and just let it happen, innit?
Exactly. And then that way, sometimes you get happy accidents, which you go, "Oh, I didn't intend to draw that, but I'm glad that happened." Of course, it's a different story now if you're, say, burnt out and you're working really late, and then you make really bad creative decisions. Which I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but
Why have I just scribbled over the whole thing angrily?
Yeah. Well, I wake up the next morning. I'm working on something in the night. I wake up the next morning, and I think, why did I make that purple? Why I chose to do this? Why would I do that? So I don't know. Get plenty of rest. That's the moral of the story. Rest.
It's clearly your alter ego. Half your brain is evil, Josh, and at night it comes out, so it sabotages all of your work while you're still awake.
I think maybe we went around here. Yeah, big guy.
He's got a big belly.
So we're going polar opposite from thin Achilles to
Thin.
chubby Achilles.
Yeah. And then the things I will, it's like you can be selective with what you keep and what you take away. So I would say for this one, I would say I'll keep the long hair. I'm not sure how that I'd make it look, but let's just say I'll keep like this long hair and the cape. So I could make it a rule to say, okay, this character must have long hair and must have a cape. So maybe I might eliminate the idea of making them really thin or making them really, really large. So that's an idea. And then, of course, when I get off the call, when we stop the stream, I can sort of work on these a little bit more and tie down the details. Let's see. And also, I like drawing faces. I gotta maybe work out the face. I just saw I did a little doodle in Photoshop. I wouldn't be able to open it now, but I just pictured this man just really, in pain or just always crying. With a mouth like that.
Yeah, he's always crying because no one else takes it seriously enough in his LARP playing, and he's really wound up. And he's like, that's not happened in history books. We're supposed to do it like.
Oh, you know what came to mind when I saw Achilles? I was thinking Achilles, like from the Greek myth, and I was thinking, okay, maybe this person is really deluded, and
Yeah,
he is, thinks he is Achilles. That's what came to mind.
We do want to be careful though, because obviously it's a comedy hospital game. I don't think we should touch on any
Yeah,
issues that are too close to, can be real for some.
yeah, I agreed.
I think it should all be ridiculous comedy, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Because it did. A second thought was like I saw this episode of the Batman animated series, and there was a bad guy named Zeus, I think, and he quite literally believed he was Zeus, and he was doing some bad guy things. And I thought, that reminds me of that. But then I heard your thought of the reenactment actors. What did you call it again?
LARP, live action role playing. I think that's
Yeah.
the proper term.
Mm. Yeah, he was doing a live action role play, hurt his Achilles heel, literally, and hopped into hospital. Oh, that reminds me. I do want this person to hop. So I've got to draw them in like a hopping pose. Let me see. Let me see. 1 foot up. Like that, maybe. And then it's got to have a funny face. Kind of like that one. I want it to be very close to Easy's vision. Whoops. And now I am thinking I want to pause on ideas for Achilles and think about Ed Banger.
Okay.
Ed.
I was going to ask, at what point would you drop our existing, whether it's the 3D or 2D characters, into this mock scene to kind of contrast and reference them, or would that come much later? When would that be?
That would be a bit later on. I think it would be a bit later. Let's this one. Yeah, I'll close that too. Ed Banger. So when I saw this guy, I thought, ooh, that mohawk would be interesting to animate.
Yeah.
And I like this jacket
Yeah.
as well.
I like the mohawk. It's cool.
Oops.
Also
Maybe.
good for the silhouette thing you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So from here, I start just doodling. And of course, another thing about drawing this stuff is sometimes I would have to simplify the ideas for the sake of animation. Because maybe, let's say, I don't think this is going to happen, but let's say, for example, this, I don't know, this spiky wristband thing might be really hard to animate. So I might take off the spikes or do away with or just simplify his design somehow.
Yeah.
Stuff like I might end up having to do. But no, I'll take the spiky wristband. Reminds me of Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Really? Oh yeah.
Yes. Let me see. So sometimes I start with very generic shapes, just to warm up, and then I might think, let's make him really thin, which I might like or might not like. We'll make it really, really large. Yeah, this isn't going too badly. I'm super delayed with my drawing. It's like I have to know what to do before I'm doing it. Yeah, I quite like the original idea. Oh, is it? By the way, is there any more people in the Discord who are on the call? I can't actually close down this thing and look at Discord because
We've got
my computer will die.
Joe is there.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
lurking in the background. Hi.
Hey, Joe.
What's up?
I think Caitlin's there, although she said she'd have to be on a call at some point, so I don't know if she can speak yet.
Yeah, I'm just quiet because I'm recording.
Aha.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can speak and get your own voice in the recording as well. That's fine.
It's my input's a bit staticky.
Okay. And I am too, as you know.
I noticed he's got this interesting plaster on his head.
I like the plaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
Maybe that's why he comes into hospital. He just keeps needing new plasters. I mean, that could totally be a thing, right? We've said, okay, there'll be bottles of pills and there'll be giant syringes. There could be giant plasters. That'd be a fun comedy thing, right?
Yeah. And you could have people come in with silly things and they just get a plaster on it.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I'm thinking of something quite funny that would be like with that plaster. Is let's say the character turns around, the plaster is going to look like it's on both sides of his head. Because basically, if we hit the character around in game, we just like flip the image basically. So it would look like he's got plasters on like both sides of his head. Which again, that reminds me of Street Fighter 2. I know.
Everything reminds you of Street Fighter.
I know.
Is that
sorry, say that again?
Is Street Fighter 2 the best Street Fighter?
Nah. No. I wouldn't vote. It's good, but I wouldn't vote Street Fighter 2 as the best. I think, this is going to take us way off topic. Don't ask me about my favorite fighting games.
Well, Shaz thinks it's the best, so I'm interested to hear.
I mean, nostalgia always wins, right?
Okay. That's what you played
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
in your younger years.
Yeah.
I just played it the other day. So it's the only one I know.
I can't remember where I heard the phrase. Someone said, you can't compete with people's good memories. That's
Okay.
fairly... And it's broad, but it's a useful way of looking at some things.
Yeah. But then you get the feeling of looking back at something thinking, yeah, that was really good. And then when you actually revisit that thing, it's like, oh, that's not as good as I thought.
Yeah, but then you're a different person now compared to whenever that was. So at that time in your life, that's what engaged you, or that's what you needed, or whatever it is. But now, maybe different things interest you. Maybe you need different things.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's the way I feel about my old artwork. Old artwork, and I think, ugh.
Oh.
I'm liking how this Ed Banger character is turning out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The devil horns, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they're supposed to be?
That's what they're called, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite distinctive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing that.
Mm.
Metal.
Am I allowed to make suggestions, or do you just want to let your, as you said, just let your hand go wherever it wants to go?
Oh, sure, you can make suggestions.
Would it be good if he had a little pot belly? And
Little belly.
and a short t-shirt that's like it doesn't stretch over his belly properly.
Oh yeah, you could try that.
He's
So
an
here's
old,
the-
Yeah, he's an older guy.
metal.
He's still in the scene. He's like, whatever, 45, 50.
But he's just eaten a bit too much cake.
Yeah, but he's still into the music. He still feels it. He's still living the life.
Let's give it a try. Let's
All his
shift
mates.
so yeah, just duplicate the my drawings, which makes comparing or making multiple versions of it a lot easier, a lot quicker.
See, all of Ed's mates sold out and went and got proper jobs. He's still playing in bands, playing to shows with 20 people.
Yeah.
Accidentally walking to his bass player, which is how he injured his head.
I guess I would shrink the jacket just a tiny bit more. And there's his belly. Yeah. That's interesting. And again, I just keep it super rough. And then I can tighten it up later. And then it's likely that, like, typically, I guess within the team, I can show off sketches like this, but typically you don't always show off these kind of super rough sketches because sometimes it's only stuff that only I would understand.
You don't understand me.
Exactly.
I think because as Josh explained, so he does like a first pass. He'll call it a first pass animation. What he shows to us, he's probably done rough things before that, and it's all kind of grey shaded, and things are not sort of shaded inside the lines perfectly. It's all very rough. I think at some point in the future we should make a game with that art style, so it's all that kind of rough sketch art kind of thing. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that tastes good. I'd like to do that.
I also quite liked that me and was it Damon had done it was a black and white sketch, but we'd done one colour. So like me, it was the red heel and he did the green hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like that too.
Yeah.
Have one colour that pops.
Kind of key colors that make the characters stand out. So
yeah,
it might be the case that I make it a rule that Ed Banger must definitely have green hair, even if we, change the mohawk slightly or whatever. That makes me think I could look into slightly different styles of mohawks. I do like the one he's got here, though. Pretty cool.
Pretty impressive.
Let's go really crazy.
I think in the punk scene, I think people who do have a mohawk, they properly like put hair products into it, so it's really rigid, so it doesn't really move around. So because you had worries about, would this be cool to animate? Actually, would that be a pain to animate? Oh, a giant mohawk. Oh, I like that.
So good. It could just gently flop, couldn't it? Like as he's sort of idling, it could like, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. He hasn't got enough hair product on. He's run out of hair product.
He couldn't reach up that high.
Let me see, where can we go now? So right now I'm just stroking my beard and thinking, where can we go now? yeah, provide some commentary. Let me do away with these. Because I kind of have near infinite drawing space with Blender. So it's really cool. You can get loads of ideas on a page.
I think the giant mohawk is cool. But does that mean we have to make the character shorter so that his mohawk can,
Hmm.
go off the screen, doesn't go off
Yeah.
like walls? Which could be a good thing if he's quite short, right? Another distinctive thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're spot on there. I'm going to try something. I won't try it now. But what I will end up doing is, like, you see the background, it's it's got the kind of mock hospital level on there.
Yeah.
I will sometimes, I will kind of draw the characters almost to scale, or just to draw them in the angle that they would stand in if they were in the hospital scene, just to get a sense of what it would look like.
Okay.
Which always helps, almost like as like a reference,
Yeah.
Let me see. Where are we gonna go with it?
He's tall and spindly, and then the little rocker next to him.
All different, yeah.
Yeah, imagine him being a super tall, super lanky guy.
Yeah, all limbs.
Yeah. What's this done? Let's have a look. I mean, a lot of I don't know. As an outsider, I guess a lot of heavy metal like rockers tend to be like really skinny, don't they?
Oh no, I meant you could have Achilles really tall and spindly, and then next to them have your little.
Oh,
Just too contrasting, I think, is whichever
I
one.
see like that.
Oh, but yeah, it doesn't matter which is which. Yeah, Achilles could have the little pot belly.
Yeah. I think in answer to your question, was it? Battlers come in all shapes and sizes, just like any other human. So,
Yeah. Well, I guess I was thinking more in a caricaturish fashion. Like if you see cartoons with heavy metal rockers.
are there any cartoons?
With heavy metal rockers in them.
Probably. I don't know.
Maybe it's totally unrelated. I just keep thinking of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. And I used to watch the cartoon of that, so that was before that I saw the movie. And I barely remember the movie. I remember the cartoon.
I didn't even know there was a cartoon.
Yeah, they made back in the 90s. They made cartoons of all
Everything.
sorts of ridiculous. Yeah, there was James Bond Jr. There was Bill and Ted. You had a Back to the Future cartoon.
There's a Jackie Chan cartoon, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a Jackie Chan cartoon. They made all kinds of crazy cartoons back then.
Yeah. I guess it makes more sense now, but originally Jackie Chan films were not kind of kids' films. They were actual like comedy, but still martial arts films that maybe you wouldn't want your 5-year-old kid watching and copying.
Can you imagine?
But I guess his career transition is doing more kind of kids' films, so maybe that makes more sense. He did a cartoon.
Yeah. I guess by today's standard, is a lot of his old movies are a bit tame, even though it's.
But didn't he do all the stunts? Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah,
he did all the.
That's why he broke all of his bones multiple times. And
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that could be another character for the hospital.
Jackie Chan.
Man.
And Jackie Chan.
You've broken all of my bones.
Jackie Chan lookalike who's trying to get stunt double jumps.
And he's trying to reenact them.
Oh yeah, totally have a stunt stunt man or stunt woman.
Stop
That'd be
And that would make sense why you keep seeing him every level because he's broken his bones.
trying to do that stunt. It's just not working for you.
if you did this.
Oh, what's happening now, Josh? You moved on to something else?
Yeah, I just had a random idea. Like this could possibly be for Achilles or for just a random stunt guy. Thinking of a pose. Imagine them hopping up and down. They're standing on one leg, hopping up and down and holding his knee. Of course, it looks like scratches and scribbles, but that's.
Is he holding a scratch or is he holding a scribble?
I'll let you interpret. But yeah, sometimes these spontaneous ideas come to mind, and I just kind of draw it on one side of the page and kind of leave it there. And I think that might come in handy later. But what are your thoughts, everyone? I've got a very short, giant mohawk edge banger, or you got a pop belly kind of edge banger, or this kind of normal shape.
Before we start sourcing opinions on what we go for, do you want to have a go at Chalak's text descriptions of the?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Spread of first part sketches, so we get a feel for who could be an actual character in the game that we want to put in the game.
Sure. Let's. Oh, what's this button? I know how to use Blender. Okay. So we had an android and a super rich guy.
Yeah, would it help if we read it out again, or are you okay to read the text? What's most helpful for you?
Oh, if you could read it out again, please, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll get Easy Banana to read it. CC.
I'm just an easy banana. Okay. Are you ready, Josh?
I am ready.
Okay, so CPU. This old school android gained awareness of his own impending redundancy only some short days ago. Mistaking medicine as the source of all human life and believing his own software bugs and rusted joints to be health ailments, he insists on being poked, medicated, operated on, and, if necessary, resuscitated on his own journey to gain his humanity.
Okay, so he thinks making more medicine all the time is going to make him human.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a Pinocchio.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's.
Yeah.
And then the other one. Well, do you want to do some sketches for that one before we move on?
Yeah.
So that you
As you can, I scribbled some completely illegible notes here.
Are you a doctor, Josh?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Doc Josh.
But it's interesting because I hadn't anticipated getting kind of written character descriptions like that. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I just thought people would draw stuff, but it's really cool. Because when it comes to text, I sort of highlight words that stand out to me. So I was thinking, okay, this is an android, and he wants medicine to help him be well.
To help him feel human. Convince him that he's a real human.
So then I'm thinking, should this robot look like a human but not be a human? Should he obviously not look like a human and want to be human?
Yeah. Let your hand do the talking. Let's see what shapes come out.
Oh, I'm just filling for time because there's a massive delay on my computer. So there we go. And then I think, imagine if this robot was like a kind of retro future 1960s vision of the future. You know what robots kind of looked like in the 90s? or
Yeah,
people's vision of robots from the 1960s or 70s, like those kinds of
there's
robots.
the original Lost in Space TV show, I think, is in the 60s. So they've got a robot in that, and it's
Yeah.
kind of big and massive and clunky with big light bulbs and.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
even now, when someone says the word robot to me, I think square.
Mm.
I think like big clunky square metal.
Yeah.
Robots are so different now, but yeah, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking along the same lines. This kind of a squarish shape I had here.
Is that a
Yeah.
light bulb on top?
Yeah,
of
complete with light bulb. Maybe it'll blink when he feels human, but might not happen.
And the claw hands.
Yeah. So again, just kind of playing off kind of generic kind of tropes we've all kind of seen before, but in a way that kind of helps people understand the idea, which can be, good to communicate. What else can we do from
Can I
Mr.
suggest
Robot?
a thing for
Yeah.
another completely different idea for what if his body shape is composed of syringes and pill bottles and other medical paraphernalia because he's accumulating them for so long he's become them.
Yeah. Gosh, what would that look like? Let's see, I draw like a basic shape on top. Basic shape. That's too human. Well, I'll stick with it. And then, what if he had a giant syringe arm? Syringe arms?
I like the syringe arm.
What else could we do?
This to the new Transformers film.
Oh, I haven't actually seen these new films.
I mean, I assume there's always a new Transformers film. I've got no idea.
Okay.
They're always making money out of it somehow these days, right?
Yeah.
I used to watch the cartoon a lot as a child, so that's my reference to the real Transformers. None of this modern nonsense.
But I
Oh,
think movies.
is the pill bottle his body?
Yes.
Okay.
But then I could go really extreme with this, and I'm not sure how that would work. But again, that's why we do rough sketches and we just try things out. If I were to not zoom out, you can. Draw it on here. And another thing I look out for is if I feel like I'm doing the same thing too much, I will make an effort to really change it up. So in both of these ideas, I've had really squarish shapes. So I make an effort to kind of change it up and do something really different when my pen responds.
So is a square a black hole? Is it going to be a black hole shape?
What is that? Oh, where?
Never mind. You're just being stupid.
Let's allow a few seconds for this delay. I'm gonna try to erase this mistake, or I'll just leave it. Sometimes mistakes are good to leave on the screen. It might come in handy. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with it. I've got a little glitch now. I can only draw straight lines.
Oh no.
It's not intended. Come on, Blender, you can do it. Golly.
Just if you wanted to stop drawing squares, you can only draw straight lines.
Oh gosh. Well, what is it they say? Limitations breed creativity. Is that the saying?
Something like that. Limitation breed more straight lines.
So right now, I'm just thinking something maybe that looks like a cash register. There's a lot of machines kind of shaped like that. And then inside the cash register, there's a bunch of pills and pills and
Yeah.
is
Has Blender actually glitched and you can't draw curvy lines?
Yeah. I can do this.
Should we do the classic restart?
There we go. Sometimes Alt Tab just take it off Blender and then put it back on Blender can help.
Okay, cool.
But back we've got curved lines.
Now you can only draw in circles.
Challenge accepted.
I was just writing a ferociously hostile tweet to whoever makes Blender. I'll stop doing that. We're okay.
Where was they going? Oh, yeah, rounded shapes. Or Android. I think like robots today are very much associated with like trying to make robots more lifelike and more organic looking.
Star Wars, I think, does interesting and iconic robot designs. The original films and also the newer ones try and do some slightly different things, don't they?
Yeah.
Quite creative with their robot designs.
Yes, I can't imagine this looking good. And it's another part of drawing, committing to what you think might be a bad idea and still committing to what definitely looks like a bad idea. But as long as it's in sketch form, it doesn't matter. But I think that's interesting. No, I don't like that. You could be thinking, what on earth is this? But that was a random thought I had. But I'll keep it on the page because, again, it's an idea that might come in handy, or we could all laugh at it later when the game is released.
So it's like he's a magnet and all the stuff is stuck to him, is it?
Yeah. I like that.
Just accumulated stuff.
I keep saying he because I'm a bloke and I think in a male perspective, but this could be a non-gendered robot, obviously, or a she or whatever.
They.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking as well? The machines from if anyone's seen Wall-E.
Oh, I love Wall-E. Yeah. Oh, it's the so one good. That has the plant that's looking for the plant.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That was a good movie.
Oh, I love that film. Yeah. We should watch that film. It's a nice film.
I think I've seen it.
Have you?
Probably. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah. But we can watch it again.
Yeah. I'd love to watch it again.
I actually spent. I hadn't seen it I was late to the party on that one. I spent the whole time thinking it was like a silent movie or just I didn't think there was.
There's no. The main characters don't speak, do they?
No.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
There are some humans though.
Yeah, but they're minor.
Yeah.
They're minor characters.
That's what took me by surprise. I didn't know they were humans. I thought Wall-E was like a 10-minute, 12-minute short. And the movie went on and on. I thought, oh, this is.
I don't have time for this.
Hurry up, Pixar. Get on with it. Is it Pixar? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whether
it's
Disney Pixar.
Well, Disney bought Pixar, so
it is both.
Yeah.
What if this person is on wheels? That's a thought for our robot friend. Right. I'm gonna check the time because I could draw all
Yeah.
day. I'm gonna bore all of you now.
Do you want to try doing the other character that was described but not drawn? The
yeah, I
first
can do
sketch.
that.
Okay, let's switch over to the description. Okay.
Okay, Richard Evergreen. Rich had it all in life: fast car, huge house, several international corporations. When someone pointed out that his money wouldn't go with him into the afterlife, he became obsessed with supposed miracles of medicine. He firmly believes there's nothing that can't be solved by just throwing more money at it. He's on a mission of longevity and unshakable propriety, be it life extension, to become a happy head in a jar, or if nothing else, to have his finances grafted onto his body for safekeeping.
What does that look like? Hmm.
So he wants all the latest medical
Mm.
everything. And
So
he's
I'll have
rich.
all the plasters, please.
Yeah.
So he's got several international corporations. So he could be one of these tech billionaires. I don't know if that helps.
Like billionaire, you say?
Yeah, like Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates,
Yeah.
one of those.
I'm just like a tech billionaire. I just think of a really generic, plain, boring-looking person because they're not going to flaunt their wealth all over the place. But then when the story tells of this like super rich person, I just get really, I go cartoony and think of the really proud
Mr. Oh,
proud guy, chest sticking out. I've got all the money in the world, and he wants all of his wealth. What was the wording? Stuck to his body or something like that.
let's just read that
That's
bit
another
out.
thing I do. I should get on the disc.
Finances grafted onto his body for
That's the
safekeeping.
word. Yeah. What does that look
He's,
like? Maybe
he's made money.
Yeah, literally.
just maybe that looks like. You go really ridiculous with this, which is, I guess, that's what we want. Um,
Yeah, more ridiculousness.
Mm.
Always add more ridiculousness when we're making characters for this game.
maybe, maybe he just made himself into a pile of cash. Add more, or maybe. Oops. You, maybe I could draw a little bit of inspiration from like ancient Egypt, because you know a lot of the pharaohs had they were buried with their wealth and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Right.
Or, and at this point, I'd be on be doing reference images, searching up reference images and stuff, but I guess not on call. Not during this stream.
So his wealth could be his car keys and aeroplane keys. I don't know.
Yeah. Guess I would just draw a bunch of stuff stuck to his body. Gosh. This looks like a giant hand. That's interesting. But yeah, at this point now, I'm just going to let my hand
It's the
just draw
claw of
stuff.
humorism. It's got him in a death.
Yeah. Need to think about that some more. Because then think it's the challenge is putting images to words, which is, depending on what those words are. I think, how do I make that look like what's in the description?
Should we zoom out and look? 'Cause is that 4 potential characters now? Should we look at them all, the different versions of each, and then start to get a feeling of, okay, which one should we focus on to start making an actual character out of?
We could do, but there's always the caveat of content is subject to change. But yeah, I'd like to know which ones you lot are interested in. Do you want to start from the very first character, from Achilles? Or do you just want to look at these ones?
Let's start from the ones you did first, yeah.
There were those rough sketches. Gosh, Achilles feels left behind. It's like I didn't draw much. Okay. Here we go here.
Oh yeah, it was Achilles and Ed Banger. They were the first 2, weren't they?
Yeah. I'll show them, only show them one at a time for now. Go ahead and just. So what are your thoughts? I've got a.
Okay, so we're just looking at Achilles. So I guess the question is, do any of them stand out as, yeah, they could be a character? Is that the question?
Yeah, exactly. That would be the question.
Should we let Joe go first? Because you haven't been speaking much. Are you still there, Joe?
Yeah, I've been kind of watching on and off. I really like this extreme, like the one with the really extreme pained expression. That one's very distinctive.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay, cool. That communicates that, to me, Achilles must cry. Must have a unique face. Nice.
That number, is it number 3 it says underneath? I think that's the
Yeah.
next one of this lot.
Yeah, I just put a number 3 under there.
Okay. Caitlin, I'm not sure if she can speak at the moment. If you can speak, Caitlin, of the Achilles one, do any of them jump out to you? Achilles character.
I like the really tall and skinny design, but with the cape as well.
One.
Yes, but also one kind of mixed with the sketch underneath number 1.
This one here. Okay.
Okay, we've got 2 contenders here then. Okay, and I'm not sure if Rupert can talk. Banana, what do you think?
I do like the idea of him being really tall and lanky, but maybe you could put number 3's face on the really tall and lanky.
Oh, sure.
Combine
Yeah.
them. I also like what you started drawing, Josh, with him holding the heel, because that, I tried, but I couldn't quite draw that. But I like that idea as well.
Okay, nice.
Yep, I agree with that. I probably like 3 the most, but that could be interesting. 3's head on 1's body. 1 being a combination of the
1B.
1B, 1, yeah. Okay.
Lovely.
Should we note down those votes and then move on to the next character and see? And then we could put all the best versions next to each other and then kind of see, okay, of all the versions, which look like the most fun characters to add to the game.
I'm very limited with what I can do now because this whole time my computer's been running at 5 frames a second, so I can't make any notes and things. But
okay,
I'm making a mental note. I'll write a few things down.
Okay, Ed Banger.
Ed Banger. Edward Banger. Eddie Banger. What do we think? I think I've got more on the other side as well.
Okay, Joe, do you want to go first again?
Sure, yeah. I'm a really big fan of the big guy with the giant mohawk on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of love his like slightly blank expression as well, just like staring into the void. Like looks like he's just become like completely unaffected because he's just listened to so much incredibly loud music.
Cool.
And Caitlin, do any of these jump out to you?
Yes, I'm really sorry, Joe, but I actually really like the pot belly
You don't
aesthetic.
have to be sorry.
With the blank expression, I definitely agree with. That's funny.
What do you think,
Thank you.
Banana?
I like the ridiculously big mohawk that's
Yeah.
just makes you smile, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I don't have a preference on body, but I think the mohawk is
yeah.
we can see.
Oh, cool. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but between the giant mohawk and the pot belly, they're like different enough where one of them could be Ed and the other one could be like Ed's brother or something like that.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
Band member, you know?
or it could be his bassist, the
Yeah,
guy
exactly.
he bumped into and damaged his head.
Exactly.
That's true, actually. It could be the whole band eventually.
Mm.
Josh, which do you prefer out of any of these options?
I've not decided yet.
Okay.
I do like the giant mohawk, the really short one with the giant mohawk, but I'm a little on the undecided side. I would usually do a couple more sketches in this,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think the one with the pot belly looks the most like a character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
See that in the game. But yeah, the giant mohawk is fun and kind of cute in a way. It's quite funny. So maybe if you could combine the two, that could be interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Like I could even, actually, does it remind me of a Dragon Ball Z character or something? There's something about his face. It looks. I know it's a rough sketch, so this is not.
Yeah.
There'd be several more stages before you get to the actual final character.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I wonder if you could. Would it be possible to move stuff on the screen so we only see the big mohawk Ed and the potbelly Ed, and all the other Eds we don't see, and then we can compare them next to the versions of Achilles that we liked next to each other? Could you do that?
I would probably have to do that off stream.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. The performance is that bad.
Oh, okay. The streaming is taking up loads of your computer's resources, is it?
Yeah, streaming and Blender. My computer doesn't like it. It's okay.
Okay, no worries. All right, well, let's look at what was the other character? The robot character.
CPU.
Yeah,
Robot.
CPU.
This on. And let me try and adjust these settings here. Oh, not that one. There we go.
Could you put numbers on all of them so we can reference them easily as well?
Yeah. 1, 2. Wow. My computer just. No, it slowed down again. Okay, never mind. Right, let me just.
Briefly jumped into life, did it?
It did, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
You can make it, Joe. Do it.
Yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. Do you want this one as well? I don't like this. This one was a mistake, but I'll just put a 5 on top of it.
Okay, Joe, you go first. We have numbers 1 to 4 plus 5 if you really want that.
I think
Easy.
number one. I think number one is my favorite of these, just because I like the kind of old school robot look.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the the way number two is made up of all the different medical supplies. It's pretty funny as well. So I don't have a strong preference really.
Okay, Caitlin.
I agree with Joe. I really like number one. It's the way he kind of looks like he's like puffed out his chest. Looks really cute.
Banana.
This cannot be my new nickname. Cannot.
You gave it to yourself.
So I like number two, especially the injection arms, but I also quite like number four, one wheel.
Oh,
Yeah.
controversial.
But well, number four could have syringe arms.
Ah,
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I like the unicycle look.
that would probably make animating easier as well, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah,
If they don't have legs, they don't need a
definitely.
cycle. Yeah, I think one is kind of the cutest. Number two is the coolest. Maybe if number two if the syringes weren't as sharp, it would like with the concept art and like with how the syringes are going to be more squished up. So maybe that would go back to looking cute. I don't know. Any preference from you, Josh?
I do like number four. It just looks like the best thing I've drawn on this page. But I do, I do like if I did put like syringe arms on number four, that might be nice.
Okay, we've got some options there. All right, and then below it, then we've got the rich guy.
Which I don't know how I feel about these. These are like non-ideas. There's nothing here. To me, there is nothing here. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, they're definitely not as characterful as all the other ones that have been sketched out.
That's what happens when I struggle. Saw it live, folks.
Okay, do we want to say what we prefer of these ones or not? Joe, what's your preference?
Sorry, are we on the rich guy now? My Discord just messed up for a second.
Oh yeah, so Josh was just saying he didn't feel that we came out with good ideas for the rich guy one. So I was asking, should we vote on our favorite rich guy ones, or should we just say we didn't really? Well, let's just say, do any of the rich guy characters jump out at you as like a potential character for the game? So Joe, do any of them stand out to you as characters? And yes is okay, no is okay.
Maybe not. I think the one thing that's funny to me is like because he's on like a quest to like live forever or like that sort of thing. It would be pretty funny if he was really like lanky and weedy and like looked incredibly weak, and just a contrast with like his mission to like live forever, but he actually looks like he's gonna like die the next day.
Oh, that's
Like
so cool.
Yeah.
There's that scene where the doctor says you have so many diseases that are all perfectly in balance that somehow they're not killing you. And he says, "You mean I'll live forever?" And they're saying, "Well, that's not exactly what I." Great, brilliant.
I really like that idea, Joe.
And Caitlin, did any of those options for the rich guy jump out at you? And I think we already know Josh's opinion.
So the one on the left,
Yeah,
that you've just made a note next to, Josh.
Yeah.
I kind of like that he looks weighed down.
Mhm.
So maybe he could be weighed down by all his riches.
Oh, he could have loads of gold chains. And stuff,
Yeah.
like,
So he's like stuff along.
yeah, like
all the material wealth.
he could be like a almost not quite Mr. T, you know, B.A. Baracus from the 80s,
Yeah.
but something like that with loads of ridiculous jewelry and stuff.
And it's like weighing him down. So
Yeah.
that's
cool.
he's like wants to live forever, but he's been weighed down by all this. Oh god, I'm getting deep now.
I like that idea. That's good.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
But I like the sickly Mr. Burns type idea as well. But those could be two different characters.
It could be
couldn't
both,
they?
right? He could be sickly Mr. Burns with loads of
Loads of bling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could do a quick sketch of that, Josh, to see how that would look?
Let's have a check. See, look.
Yeah. Is your computer working enough?
Working too hard. Oh no,
I think it's coming.
losing its mind.
It could be time to get a new laptop sometime in the next couple of months.
Maybe. Yeah. But of course, when the stream goes off, everything will work silky smooth. So I might have to sketch those out off stream.
Mm.
Can you sketch it and then post it so we can see it?
Yeah, sure.
Do we want to try and make a decision now on call of, okay, we've said what's our favorite versions of all those potential characters. Should we say, okay, which is the very best out of all of those things? Or do we want to, or would it be better to put them in a kind of, a single image, like our favorites on one image? So you got 4 or 5 characters and pick the best one there. Would that be a better way to do it? How should we do it?
I'd be hesitant to do all of that stuff because usually I spend, just depending on the character, I spend a wee bit more time just sketching out ideas and sketching out characters. Our session here has been a bit of a quick run through of character creation. So still feel like I need to develop more ideas.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could just say this is the first idea stage. We could have another call another time where it's maybe off call. You skip, as you say, put a bit more time, put some more ideas. Maybe on a new call, we could kind of pick something, or on the Discord, and then maybe we could do a new call where you do, okay, here's the tidy version of the character where it's kind of got more details and cleaned up and that kind of thing. That makes sense.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, no, I think we've definitely got potential ideas here that I'd be quite happy to. Yeah, some of these could go in the game. They look cool.
Yeah, that's my initial thoughts. I made him look like a backpacker, but
Okay, so what time is it now? It's
3 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, we've been going an hour and 20 minutes. Should we pause it there for now for this stage and say, yeah, we'll do another call in at some other date, and you'll have some more ideas, and we can on the Discord sort through some more ideas, kind of vote for our favorites, and then on a new call you can actually draw the favorites in more detail. Does that sound good?
We can do another call.
Cool. Okay, this was good. This was fun. It's because, as you all know, I can't draw at all. So it's really cool that I can say, "Oh, could you try like this?" And you can actually draw that on the spot just like this, and it looks like what we've just described. It's like a magic craft of some kind.
But yeah, this has
So,
been
yeah,
good.
I think it was fun.
Good to have everyone on the call.
Yeah, it was really cool to see this part of the process as well.
Yeah, next.
Okay, cool.
Next time we'll watch you do some coding.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, we kind of did that in your job interview, didn't we, Joe? We
That's
said,
true.
here's some things that need fixing, or how would you do this? And we watched them do it live.
Sure, that was
Pretty
a fun
much.
time for you.
Gosh, what is it like? People watching code, program stuff.
For me, it's stressful.
Right.
Wow. Obviously, it wasn't too stressful. You did pretty good.
No, it could have been a lot worse.
Cool. Okay, let's call it there then. And then, we'll obviously upload this for the people that couldn't make the call. They can watch it at their own leisure. YouTube.
Yes, and to all the people who sent in characters, thanks very much. You've made this a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Generally, it's like, as as more people find out about the game, I can imagine people are going to start getting creative with all the modding tools and all that kind of thing. Okay, well, thanks for joining in, everyone, and thank you, Josh. That was pretty fun. It was good to see all your ideas and sketches. Okay, we'll see everyone on the next stream.